Hi guys, and welcome back to my self-employment series, and today I'm going to talk about the negative bits of self-employment. I've done the positive and I'll link that video below, but I can't do the positive without the negative, so here we are. Now for me, I think the positives do outweigh the negatives, and anything you do job-wise or anything, they're going to be bad bits. So it's just how strongly you feel about the negative bits as to whether self-employment would be right for you or not. So number one, you never completely shut off. So you might have ideas in the middle of the night and get up and end up writing them down. You might have ideas on holiday and end up working. You never actually switch off from work because your work is your life now. And I think that is pretty consistent across the board. I think most self-employed people will say that. And you can try to sort of separate it and definitely schedule time off and make sure you have rest days and stuff, but it is really hard to completely shut your brain off from work. And you can put systems in place to try and manage it, so have like a little note section on your phone, so if you think of something you can jot it down there while you think of it, and then just leave it and come back to it when you're in your sort of working hours. So just be aware of it, and if you are struggling with that or you're feeling burnt out, then just try to manage it and find a system that works for you that allows you to sort of have those rest times as much as possible, or as much as you need it. The second thing is people's reactions, and I think not everyone will experience this, but I think people in the creative industries are more likely to. People may be jealous or just unaware or unknowledgeable about self-employment and just make comments that make you feel a bit rubbish. It's very, very rarely malicious, but it can, when you're in that early stages of risk and doubt, it can play on your mind and it can just knock you a little bit. It may be friends, family, complete randomers, but just be aware that that can happen. People can make comments that make you feel rubbish, and just try to not let it affect you and find your confidence from within you, and just sort of disregard other people's opinions unless it's someone you really know and trust and has been there and done what you're doing. Yeah, so choose carefully whose opinions you trust and value. I mean, when I started, or even up to recently, I've been told that business is the easiest subject, which is nice, or it's easier for you because you were made redundant, which obviously it's not the case. Being made redundant is horrible and it's never easy. Sometimes these comments just come out and you just have to try not to let it affect you, or definitely not to affect any of your decisions. Just brush it off. I think a lot of creatives as well get sort of the it's not a real job kind of thing, because if you are drawing, if you're an illustrator or an artist, they just see it as fun. They don't see all the behind the scenes, like business side, the admin, the bookkeeping, the marketing, the trying to get clients, all that sort of thing. People don't generally see that. They see the product, and if people don't understand something, they're more likely to fire stuff at you that's irrelevant. So yeah, just take it all with a pinch of salt. And I think the solution to this as well is to surround yourself with the right people. If a particular person keeps saying things to you that make you even just feel uninspired or not encouraged to just go for it, then just don't be around them. It's okay, you don't have to be unkind, you just literally make sure that you surround yourself with people who are like, yeah, you can do it, and realistic with the problems you might come up against or the hurdles you have. But there's a difference between constructive criticism and making people aware of potential problems, and just being rude or disrespectful or acting jealous. So just make sure that you surround yourself with like-minded people who lift you up. It makes such a difference. I promise you it makes such a difference. Third one, payment. So there's a few bits surrounding payment. One is irregular payment. So obviously with most jobs you have a set salary, you're guaranteed that every month, and with self-employment you don't have that. That comes hand in hand with the fact that you have more control. So yes, it is irregular, but you also have control to go out there and promote yourself more or network more. So yeah, it's definitely a factor to consider. The payment is irregular, but also remember you do have control over your world. Late payment. So I see so many freelancers on Twitter especially saying how they sent an invoice out and months later they still haven't had payment. Now I would recommend with this, you take payment before you send final files or do the final job or whatever your final product is, definitely take payment before the client gets the thing. I've implemented this and it is awkward, especially if it's people you know or whatever, but people are respectful, and if you just stick to it and just say, look, this is my policy, I have to do it, it saves you so much time and so much stress, and people who are good will respect it and just pay you, and then you send them the file. No payment, no thing. So yeah, I recommend, whatever your industry is and whatever your discipline is, I would recommend payment first, or at least like 50% deposit first. Another thing in payment, there's no sick pay, no maternity pay, and no holiday pay. Now this is, again, I think something that can be combated by passive income, but it will take a long time, and you can't just start your business and the next day, boom, you have passive income, voila. So for me currently, me and my husband run a music tuition business. We run two, but the one in Denmark has online courses as well. So this is work that has been done, and now people can purchase, and people can keep purchasing for years to come, but the work is done that once. So if we went on holiday for 2 weeks, people can still purchase that course. And the idea is over time to build up that passive income. And it won't be easy, there's no easy income, but if you work towards the passive income over from the beginning, maybe if that's your goal, eventually you can get to the point where you have income even when you're not physically doing work at that time. So that's something to think about now or for the future. The fourth one, it can get lonely. Now, I don't actually feel this. I like having days. I have days where I work from home totally on my own with the doggo, and I have days where I go out and have meetings or go to networking events or meet with clients or whatever. And I find that balance works. Obviously, if I lived on my own and was working from home on my own the whole time, then yes, I would definitely struggle. So if you like to be around people all the time, then consider a co-working space, or just make sure you get out there and go to events and set up meetings with clients or friends or whatever to get you out the house, and just try and manage your schedule so you don't have too much time just on your own. But it's really up to you and your personality and how you work best. I know if I was in a co-working space, I would just chat to everyone and get really distracted all the time. So I need a couple of days a week from home where I work solidly, and that's when I'm most productive. And then other days is sort of the networking side. So it's just about finding the balance. But yes, a lot of people do say that they can get lonely working from home or being self-employed. So it's definitely something to consider. And that's all I've got. So please let me know in the comments if what the worst thing for you is about being self-employed, or if you have anything to add. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.